Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how to paint your own Japanese markings on a scale model aeroplane. This is a George fighter, a Kawanishi. Yeah, let's get stuck in. The kit that I used was a Swallow model kit. It was terrible. To give you an idea of how bad it is, these are the instructions for the cockpit. The cockpit is only a third of the normal depth of a normal cockpit. It was all built to give you a motorized engine in the plane in the 1970s. Terrible, terrible kit. It is an absolute dog of a kit. But I started out planning to paint a fairly standard, Japanese Imperial Navy green plane. Started masking the bottom, painted the bottom sky blue, started doing a little bit of dodgy pre-shading, and I decided, you know what, this isn't going to work, it's nothing exciting. So I went with a bit of a fantasy scheme. I started off doing some sketches, came up with an idea I liked, and then just cracked on. So I painted the whole model silver. As you can see, I masked off a few smaller areas and painted those various different shades. So there's some sort of aluminium, there's some slight gunmetal, just to give a bit of textural difference to all the different metals on the plane. Then I started to work on the side stripes. So I wanted to have some blue sort of lightning bolts on the side, plain old sticky tape, masking tape, and I also wanted a blue tail as well. So yeah, masked them off, pretty straightforward, like anyone with an airbrush and some masking tape can do this. There's absolutely no secrets here. I wanted the plane to be a home defense plane, and they tended to have a white background behind the hinomaru, behind the round red circles. So using reference photos that I found online, I worked out where they'd be masked off, masked them off on the wings, and yeah, sprayed those white. So here's a few shots showing you that's the rough area. I also painted the anti-glare black part on the cowling in front of the windscreen. So yeah, all ready to go. I'm going to start painting some white and some black here, and yeah, once that was done, we were good to go. Now here's the exciting bit. Then I was ready to move on to the round red insignia, the hinomarus I think they're called. Please excuse my Japanese pronunciation. So, got myself one of these, a circle cutter. I got this from Spotlight here in Australia. It's a craft shop, but you can get them pretty much any hobby or craft shop, and it's a circle cutter. So you work out your radius or diameter, lock it off, there's a spike and a blade, and put down your paper or your adhesive, and then just turn it around and the blade cuts it. Great thing, I recommend it. For Japanese insignia, for RAF roundels, can't go wrong with this stuff, much better than decals. So then, stuck down some adhesive contact basically that I had cut the holes into, spray painted red. The beauty here is that unlike decals, you can get tonal variations in the red. You can get some darker in the middle, lighter in the middle. You can fade it on the sides or on the upper surfaces. Lower surfaces can be a lot darker. Peel the adhesive off, peel the contact off, and there you go. Here's a very smart looking aeroplane. So this was the colour scheme that I wanted. Like I said, a bit of a fantasy piece. But yeah, you'll be able to see the top surfaces, the red was a little bit brighter than on the bottom surfaces, and that's just something you can't do with decals. So honestly, once you start this, you'll never go back. Next up, the salt technique. So have a look elsewhere on my channel for the salt technique. If you just search for it, you'll find it. It's great. It's an easy way to give you weathering, and this is the result it gives. So a bit of salt and water sprinkled on, spray on a really thin layer of black, really thin layer of white, wash off the salt, and you're left with this lovely random effect. It looks like a Japanese plane that's seen some hard service in the Pacific. Yeah, for such a simple technique, it really elevates it, and you don't have that bright, glaring silver aluminium effect anymore as well. It's an easy way to weather really quickly. And look at that, yeah, that's not a decal. You'll never think that's a decal. Then I started to get a chipping paint, so some silver or aluminium, and just gently chipping around the edges of panels that would have been taken away. And again, that's never a decal, and I just love the effect. It's great, and it's so easy to do. Started working on the extra bits that I hadn't put on yet because I thought they would have broken off in the meantime. So the fuel tank, similar effect. Also got the salt weathering technique. The propeller got some splashes of random stuff on it, random paint. All the other bits and pieces got a similar effect as well. I also masked off the yellow area on the wings and then started doing some exhaust stains from the exhaust from the engine. It was a bit of a pity to cover up that lightning bolt, but you know, for a well-serviced machine, I figured that was the way to go. And here's the finished result. So I think, yeah, like I've been saying all the way through, once you do it, you'll never go back to using a decal for a Japanese marking again. That circle cutter is just amazing. The salt and weather technique for weathering, the salt technique is just the bee's knees for a really easy, quick result. You know, you wouldn't do this for every plane. It's a plane that's had a hard life. It's a plane that's seen a lot of service and it hasn't been beautifully maintained. But yeah, I was very, very happy with the finished result. I think it gave a really authentic looking machine. It's very easy to do. So yeah, stuck some decals on for the lettering on the tail there. That was a bit beyond my masking techniques. Just, you know, use a coat of gloss before you put the decals down and trim around as close as you can, and you can't go wrong. And then just, you know, re-gloss over the top and spray a bit of matte over it, and you're sweet. Yeah, look, if you do have any questions or anything, please hit me up. I'm very happy to answer. I realise this is quite a fast tutorial. Ignore the terrible pilot. It's shocking, but like I said, the quality of the kit, I left the pilot in there because otherwise the cockpit just looked like a joke. It was toyish. So yeah, like I was saying, try masking your own decals, masking your own hinomarus. You'll never go back to decals again once you have. And yeah, give it a go. It's really fun, and the results speak for themselves. So there you go, guys. Hope you've enjoyed. If you have any questions, hit me up. Otherwise, please visit my blog, and we'll see you next time. Cheers, guys. Bye.